So I don't know about you guys, but I've had a couple days this week where I was really struggling. Mainly emotional. I'm fortunate to not have to struggle with other things right now. But there's just such a tension right now with all of the things going on with COVID-19, different perspectives of it, different ways of looking at it, all types of theories, and just all the changes. And so when our structure changes and when we can't engage with people in the way that we normally do, I think it just kind of turns everything all around and inside out. And we can usually, at least I can, usually handle it pretty well. But I hit a couple really tough days where it was hard to even move. I just felt all of the tension from all of the different people that I'm seeing on social media and just in general within myself. So I don't know about you and what you do when you're struggling like that. For me, it kind of ties in with Mother's Day weekend, which in itself can bring tension. We want to celebrate and celebrate our moms, but also we recognize that there are moms that have died and we miss them. There are mothers who are missing children that have died too soon. There are mothers or women that want to be a mother and they haven't been able to. They desperately long for a child. There's broken relationships with our moms. Some of us struggle with that. And so there are so many different tensions on this day as well. I hope that today, on Mother's Day, is a positive and wonderful celebration, even if it's just a conversation on the phone or that you'll be able to engage with your mom somehow. But for those of us that are missing our moms and those that struggling with a relationship with moms, I just want to be praying for you in spirit as well. So what does this Mother's Day and the whole tension and what I do with this tension have to do with Mother's Day weekend? Well, when the noise gets too much, the noise of the world, and when I just feel that tension and depression come over me, I have to turn off the phone, stay away from social media, get away from people, which is fairly easy to do right now, but I still have some people in my home. So I have to find a space like in my office and get away and turn the television off, no music, no anything. And I imagine crawling up on God's lap. When I was a little girl, I would lay my head on my mother's lap and she would just stroke my hair. Or good day, bad day, I always wanted to crawl up on my dad's lap. And yeah, so neither of my parents are physically with me anymore, and that may be the case for some of you. But I want to remind us that we are all children of God. And God is available with his arms open wide on happy days, on sad days, on tense days. His lap is available for us. In fact, that's where we need to start each day, and that's where we should certainly be running to when we're struggling. So I go into my office, and I, in my mind, picture myself crawling up on God's lap, and I just sit on my Chase lounge. Sometimes I'll open up the Bible and read, or read another book. Sometimes I'll just sit and lay my head on God's chest in my mind. And so I'm really kind of inviting us today, no matter where you're at. I hope that things are going well with you today and that you're finding a joy in the Lord. But no matter where you're at on this day and with all the things that are going on in our lives, I just really pray that we would all come together as children of God. That even in the midst of division and divisive thoughts and perspectives, that we would come together as children of God. Now, we're used to God being called Father in the Bible, and when we say the Lord's Prayer, Jesus called God Father. Actually, Jesus spoke in Aramaic, and the word for father was Papa. So it was almost like I picture a young child saying Papa. But Jesus, in his 30s, we hear him calling God Papa. And so it's a very endearing, I picture it as a on the lap of God type of word. But so we're used to God being called Father. You may not realize that the Bible also refers to God's character as a mother. In fact, in Isaiah, it says that as a mother comforts her child, so will I comfort you. My guess is we all have something that we need comforted in today, and just some peace. So I'm really inviting you to crawl up on God's lap, to be held, to be loved, to be safe. In this moment, there is no prize to be won from God. There's no punishment to fear from God. You are loved, always have been, always will be. So let's just all take a moment and sit on God's lap as we begin worship today. We hear a song from the band called Plum, In My Arms. It's a song that was written by the singer, and she was just had a new baby, and she wanted to write a song for her child. And so she wrote this song, Lullaby, but she also wrote it from the perspective of God holding her. So let's just enjoy as we ease into worship today, being in God's arms and climbing up on God's lap. So as we worship, I want you to think about this scripture today. From last week from the Psalms, it was the shepherd from Psalm 23. Had to think for a second. Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. All the wants, all the tensions, all the things that you are feeling today, all the realities that we're struggling with. Let's just take a deep breath and find our foundation in God. In Psalm 46, it says, "Be still and know that I am God." So let's be still and let's be reminded so that we know that God is God, and that as a mother comforts her child, so God will comfort you and me. Let's crawl up on God's lap and cuddle in as we worship our amazing God. Enjoy.